Hi, this is Ivey, the fulfillment artist, and in this video we're going to be exploring, can one person really save a relationship? That is an interesting topic. I'm excited to speak about this. I got this sent in by someone, I think it was in China, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting question. So the first thing is, with relationships, I do believe the following, and that is no matter how thin you slice it, there's always two sides, right? So it's never just a relationship breaking apart, it's just one person's fault, right? There's always two sides to relationships. That said, is it possible for just one person to save the relationship? So actually, to answer this question fully, I need to digress into, depending on how long the couple's been together. So let's say a couple's been together for a few months, right? And something's gone wrong, and then you're watching this video going, I need to save the relationship. It's been 2 months. I need to save it. I think it could be more difficult because the foundation isn't there, like the longevity. It's very new. There's lots of things going on. They can save it, but it's slightly more difficult than for a longer relationship that's been there for multiple years or even a decade, and they really want to revamp that relationship. So with that said, no matter which category you're in, I think it definitely is possible. And the reason that I say that is the following. So let's imagine that I've got 2 cups here, okay? And this cup is empty, and this cup is full of a little bit of water, right? If this cup kept on pouring water into here, and it kept on pouring it, and it kept on filling up and just kept on pouring water into here, this cup would eventually overflow, right? And if you can look after someone, imagine this is the person that you want to love. If you love them that much, they're overflowing and you're doing as much as you can for them, right? Then your relationship will be saved because you're loving that person so much and not thinking about yourself that you're going to save them. The only issue is, how long can you do that until you want to get something back? Because for most people, I give them it's funny. I have a client I'm working with at the moment. I gave him a 90-day challenge. 3 days later, he was like, not working. And I was like, 3 days? You expect that to change in 3 days? So this is like, so let me explain what the 90-day challenge is, right? The 90-day challenge is basically loving someone and not thinking about yourself fully for 90 days. Because when most people leave a relationship, it's broken down to a point where they're like, oh, I don't want to call them, I don't want to do anything for them, and they're both not giving each other love at all, right? And some relationships, they swap, right? They go, oh, you did that for me, I'll do this for you. You did that for me, that's trading love, right? What I'm proposing here is where you fully love someone as much as you possibly can, in the way that they best receive. And this is important for me to say, because sometimes you say, oh, I tried everything. I spent hours with her, but often you're giving them everything they need, everything you think they need, except for what they actually need, if that makes sense. And often we don't really know what people want. We think we know people, but often in relationships, we give people love in how we want to best receive love. That's an interesting one. We give love often in the way in which we best receive love. And they may receive love in a very different way. And I'll come to some resources on that in the end. But within this 90-day challenge, I want to introduce you to the 6 human needs. And if you don't know what this is, I'm going to go through it very briefly. And if you know what this is, we can have a quick reminder. So the first need is certainty, to have things stable, to have things in a certain way, and you know exactly everything that's going on. Next is variety. This is getting a bit of variety in your life, doing new things, being spontaneous. The third is significance, being unique, special, and making sure that you're being respected by people. You want to be that unique person. And the fourth one is love and connections. This is building up relationships, having like a loving family, or just love in some sort of shape or form, and connection. Now the fifth one is growth. This is growing in your business, growing spiritually, growing above and beyond yourself in whatever way, shape or form that is. And the last one is contribution. So this is contributing above and beyond yourself. So of these 6 human needs, right? Sorry, that is 6 in Chinese. That's a reflex right there. Well, that's an interesting one for you. If you're watching this and you're not in China, that is 6. So of the 6 human needs, how do you then fill their human needs up to a 10? Because if you want to save your relationship, actually this is an interesting exercise. Write down right now where your human needs are in your relationship on a scale of 1 to 10 for each of those 6 human needs, and then write them down for your partner, where you think their needs would be, like from their point of view, not from yours. And I imagine they're all going to be pretty low. So what you want to do if you really want to save this relationship is you want to focus as much as you can on giving them certainty, variety, love, like whatever it is, and filling up all those categories to a 10. And if you don't know, you want to speak to them and say, you know, what can I do this week to make it a 10 for you? Right? And really start to shift yourself forward. And you can really start to save the relationship. So that's the 90-day challenge. Now with that, I might as well give you some other resources. So the 5 love languages, I think, is a brilliant, brilliant framework with which to understand people. So dive into it, do the quiz, the 5lovelanguages.com/profile, I think it is at the moment. And you can just do a quick test. It won't take you very long, but you'll start to understand your own love languages. And then you can get them to do the test and you can start to understand how they best receive love. And there's lots of different categories. You've got quality time, physical touch, acts of service, gifts, and one other one that slipped my mind right now. So check that out and you'll find out which one that is. And then you can really start to understand how they best receive love. Like that's one way to do it, right? Other ways is, and this is something I really recommend, is doing like a love tank or like a weekly love meet or whatever it is. And you can really uncover how loved that person is feeling this week. Now the reason this is cool, and I will recommend how to do this, is you say, you know, how loved this week have you felt on a scale of 1 to 10? So ask them that, and then say, okay, well, why have you felt that way? And I'll give you some reasons, and then you ask the question, when did you feel most loved? This is important. They will give you an answer. It will surprise you, probably. When you took out the trash, you can be like, what? That's when you felt most loved, when I took out the trash? And they're going to say, yeah. And this is where you can start to save your relationship, because you're going to start to understand the other person. And this is how you can really turn it around. Okay, and then the last question is, what can I do this week to make you feel even more loved? And this is a brilliant way to really revamp the relationship and really start to move it forward. So I hope that you've enjoyed this discussion of can one person really save a relationship? I think it's true. I think you should do this for 90 days. And if you're not compatible and it doesn't work, then move on, right? Maybe it's just not meant to be saved, right? But if it is, then this will definitely help. So with that, make sure to implement this, like take what you need from this, do it, do the quiz. Once again, implementation is everything. So please do that. And I look forward to speaking to you very soon. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you've liked it. And yeah, comment if you have any questions. I look forward to speaking to you very soon.